order. We're going to stand to salute the nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In attendance this evening are Supervisors Fisher, Aguizio, Fleer, Cassiola, and Sabavic, Solicitor Gretchen Moore, and Township Manager Juan Denizio. Tonight we're going to consider conditional use application 2020-0010 for the Range Resources Connor Samuel well site location, Grange Road, McDonald, PA, R1, low density residential zoning district, applicant Range Resources. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we just left an executive session this evening at 6 p.m. For talking about legal matters with our solicitor, as well as Monday evening.
Well, briefly before the meeting, 15 minutes before the meeting, to U.S. attorney client privilege information.
Oh, what was Monday's date?
I'm sorry, Monday was the second.
Second. Yes, thank you. So I guess I'll begin by reading into the agenda or into the record the conditions that have been considered for the Connor Samuel trial this evening. Bear with me, they're a little bit long. All activities conducted in association with and part of natural gas and oil wells shall be in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, existing and as amended any applicable federal laws and in compliance with all applicable township ordinances. 2. Range shall obtain and comply with all applicable permits from appropriate Commonwealth and, if applicable, federal regulatory agencies or authorities. Number 3. Lighting on the site shall be directed downward and shielded to avoid glare on public roads, protected uses in adjacent dwellings and buildings. The first 50 feet of the proposed access road shall be paved with asphalt. The remainder of the access road shall consist of compacted, stabilized aggregate and/or the equivalent of a more permanently solidified material. Number 5, the 50 feet of asphalt on the well site access road will be vacuumed and broomed to prevent debris from being carried on the public street. The access road will be treated with dust suppressant to reduce airborne dust that may occur during activity, and under no circumstances shall brine water, sulfur water, or water in mixture with any type of hydrocarbon be used for dust abatement. Number 6, Range shall obtain a road occupancy permit from the township for the construction and use of said access road adjoining Grange Road. Number 7, once the well site is constructed, Range shall install a locked gate at the access road to prevent unauthorized motor vehicles on the access road. During the drilling and completions phases, Range shall utilize security personnel located at the access road or cyber gate as described in the application package and testified to during the conditional use hearing. Further, Range will work with the township to address security matters that may arise related to the security of the well site. 8, Range shall provide an off-street parking area for vehicles to stand or be positioned while gaining entrance to the well site during drilling and completions operations. The parking area shall be adequate so that Range well site traffic does not disrupt the normal flow of traffic on township roadways. So these are out of number order. So this is 9. Range shall comply and meet all township standards with regard to sound levels as provided in the township's Unified Development Ordinance and Ordinance 9/2011. Range shall install sound walls as described during the public hearing. Range shall provide for, at Range's expense, 24/7 continuous sound monitoring by a sound consultant entity chosen by the township during the following phases: vertical drilling, horizontal drilling, and hydraulic fracturing.
What number is that?
12. 11.
That's actually 11. So I still,
Are you able to identify where the changes were made from our hearing, or where those changes happened? Are you able to identify that while it happened?
what hearing, what do you mean?
Well, I'm reading from the packet here,
That's the appeal that Range
Appeal.
filed today.
so you're deviating from those with these new.
I'm not. These are exactly what was read into the record for Schultz Bernard. This appeal is different because they did not appeal every single condition. They only appealed essentially the conditions that we added.
So what was number 9?
Range shall comply and meet all township standards with regards to sound levels as provided in the
She's
township.
just numbered wrong, so. Never mind, it's just a shift of number one, she said.
I think we just moved.
It was just new.
Range shall obtain road occupancy permit of Grange Road. I moved that up so that we made more sense.
Right. Can I continue?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow along. Give the number though if you can.
But I can't because if they're misnumbered on this.
Well, then add a number to it, please. It'll give me, show me as I'm looking back over to the other.
But if you're trying to compare, Eric, if you're trying to compare this appeal to what I'm reading, you're not gonna be able to because not every condition that we wrote, or that we read at Schultz was appealed. So you're gonna have to sit and go number by number to figure out which ones,
That you added to.
well, not that I added to, that the board
Okay.
voted on at Schultz. Did I say range shall provide for ranges expense 24/7 continuous sound monitoring? I said that one today. So this would be 12. There are no activities, there is, because I'll keep track of the numbers of them. So this would be 12. There are no activities associated with the proposed use that will result in malodorous gas or matter discernible at any point on or beyond applicable lot lines.
Oh, that's just a statement. We have to put something in it that says there shall not be.
It says, there are to be no
Oh, to be, I'm
activities.
sorry, Grange Road.
There are to be no activities associated with proposed use that will result in. 13, range shall provide for range's expense 24/7 continuous air monitoring by an entity chosen by the township during the following phases: vertical drilling, horizontal drilling, and hydraulic fracturing. Reporting and results of the monitoring shall be made directly to the township. 14, the township shall not in any manner assume any liability for actions or non-actions committed by range, its representatives, contractors, subcontractors, or suppliers of the proposed site which is subject to this conditional use. Range intends to initially drill 5 of the, this is 15. Range intends to initially drill 5 of the 14 wells that can be accommodated on the site. If Range plans to drill additional wells beyond the initial 5, then Range will provide a minimum of 60 days advance notice in writing of its intent to do so to the township and comply with conditions set forth herein. Such notice shall include an updated schedule providing additional well permits secured from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. This is 16. Range shall provide the township with and will continue to update as necessary its preparedness, prevention, and contingency plan in accordance with all applicable laws and regulations. 17, range shall provide a schedule in writing to the township identifying anticipated dates for site preparation and construction, drilling, and completion of wells. The township recognizes that these dates may change and range will update the township with anticipated dates of such activities. Township may choose to post the schedule to its website if it needs to provide notice to the public. 18. Range shall provide the township with contact information which will allow representatives of Range to be contacted 24 hours a day. 20, Range shall enter into, 19, Range shall enter into a sewage agreement with the township prior to drilling activity occurring on its site. 20, in the event a DEP reportable spill greater than 5 gallons of a regulated substance of containment occurs at the well site, Range shall provide notice in writing to the township. Said notice shall be provided within 24 hours of the spill. 21, if a complaint is registered with the township, Range will address said complaint within 24 hours of notification of it and take whatever reasonable means necessary to alleviate and cure said complaint. Range will provide the township and complainant in writing with a proposed plan of action to address the issue. Range shall also provide the township with a prompt explanation as to why it believes that any complaints received by the township are not believed to be reasonable and valid upon its investigation or review of same. If the township requests, Range will provide its explanation in writing. 22. Range shall provide written notice to the township of all resident complaints it receives directly within 24 hours of notification of it. Range will provide the township in complaint in writing with a proposed plan of action to address the issue. Range shall also provide the township with a prompt explanation as to why it believes that any complaint received by Range are not believed to be reasonable and valid upon its investigation or review of same. If the township requests, Range will provide its explanation in writing. 23. Range shall meet with township safety control individuals, including but not limited to the fire chief, police chief, code inspector, and county emergency management appointee, to discuss and provide information regarding any emergency response, preparedness, prevention, and contingency plans. 24. Range shall provide adequate, obvious, and specific signage of the route to the well site or vehicle associated with the proposed activity. The use of the term, quote, vehicles associated with the proposed activity is intended to be those trucks commonly referred to as tri-axle trucks, water trucks, or of a weight requiring a road to be bonded. It is not intended to be general passenger trucks or vehicles traveling to the site. 25. Range shall inform drivers that Jake brakes used on the trucks is prohibited. In addition, signage to reflect the same shall be placed along the applicable route. 26. Range shall continue to review the efficiency and safety of all traffic plans and routes and will meet with the township representatives to address any issues regarding said plans or routes, including traffic flow and safety, if requested by the township.
Hold it, wait, back up on 25, about the Jake brake usage. Question, I'm still a little concerned about that, because it says Range shall inform drivers that Jake brake usage on the trucks is prohibited. And we actually we didn't actually say we're prohibiting it, because if we go through the process for the state, to do it, then there's a process, and then we can put up signs that the police can enforce. If we don't say it here, I don't know, you'll just say we never said it prohibited. To me, that's, we just read 28 one more time, or 25.
We don't have the PennDOT process prohibition at this time.
Right, so
we're
we're not
telling
going
them
to
to
go
put
route,
up
and then we
signage.
choose the condition route.
Yes, we're just telling them to put up the signage and tell their drivers that it's prohibited.
So where do we say it's prohibited?
So for here, Range shall inform drivers that Jake brake use on trucks is prohibited.
That's, they're telling the driver something,
Yes.
when did we tell them it's prohibited? Where are the sentence?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we could say it is prohibited and Range shall inform its
Yes,
drivers.
yes.
I mean, it's implicit in this statement.
Yeah, you see how the appeals we get.
Well, I think the appeal issue, if you want to address that, you might want to say, pending except for emergency circumstances.
All right, we got, this doesn't going to say it's prohibited,
Well,
because
then maybe the first sentence is, except for an emergency circumstances, Jake brake usage on trucks is prohibited. Range shall inform drivers of same.